Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, April 15th, which is tomorrow, is celebrated as World Art Day. And so we're going to be talking to two representatives from two very important art organizations here in TNT about how they plan to celebrate it. And so joining me this morning, we have Secretary of the Art Society of TNT, Ms. Chantal Kwamina, and we also have a curator at the National Museum and Art Gallery, Ms. Lorraine Johnson. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I love your jacket, very artsy. Was it on purpose? It was on purpose. I thought so. All right, so Lorraine, I'm coming to you first because what we have locally, as everybody will know, is a growing art space and a growing art scene.
Correct.
And so we are commemorating World Art Day tomorrow. Tell us the significance about that event. Well, that day, in fact.
World Art Day is a UNESCO-initiated day that's been celebrated annually from about 2019. And what you see happening in Trinidad now is a growing and a burgeoning of art and its recognition and value to Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So I was sharing with you before that what you have sitting here before you, who you have sitting here before you are representatives from two of the oldest art organizations in Trinidad and Tobago. And Chantal, I'm going to tell them it's high time that arts and culture has gotten the recognition that we have.
I second and I third that motion. I'm coming to you, Chantal, because as Lorraine mentioned, I mean, two of the oldest art societies. I mean, as the art society, how significant is this day to the organization?
I mean, the goal of the Art Society is to, one, get artists to exhibit their work and show their work to the public, but it's also a avenue for other people who may not even know that this whole art will exist to include themselves in it. So World Art Day is like the perfect opportunity for one artist to showcase their work and also for the public to get involved in the arts in Trinidad.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that involvement because I understand that the Art Society has a ton of activities that they're doing tomorrow. Tell us about some of the activities.
Well, the activities is not just with the Art Society. There are a bunch of activities with other galleries and other art organizations. So we have a few. One is the Fine Art Market. That is an annual market. It has over 70 local artists and they come to display their work. People could go view and purchase art on the spot, and it's a great way for people to start buying art, and you'll have art in a range, price range and a bunch of different mediums. So that's one great activity to attend, and that's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So people have a lot of time to visit.
This is at the Art Society?
This is at Anchorage, actually. Yes, this is not the Art Society event. And then also Angostura. Angostura has a huge art collection. And so it's actually ending today, their art and butterfly tours. But tomorrow they do have an all-inclusive sip and paint. There is a fee, of course, but people could go, they could get a tour of the art, of the butterfly collections, and they could also sit, paint, drink wine, and yeah, it's a really fun activity. And then at the Art Society, we are hosting an oil painting workshop. And after that, our gallery will be open. We have an exhibition on now. It's themed minimalism. So people could visit the gallery throughout the day until 6 p.m. and see the exhibitions as well. And then also Arnim's Art Gallery. They have two locations in South and in Port of Spain. They have Make Your Mark, that's what they're calling it, where people could just come in with their own art materials and draw and paint. Nice. So it's a nice way for younger people also to come and get involved, and that's completely free as well.
Love it.
Yes.
Now I'm coming to you, Lorraine, because performance is art at the National Museum. Tell us about that one.
So Chantal was saying that the Art Society works to promote artists, and what we do at the museum is promote artists, but we also try to incorporate learning inside of that. Because as the museum, our role really is a distiller. We take art and heritage and we break it down in bite-sized pieces so people can understand and come to develop a love and a relevance for it. So our theme this year is Art Can Be a Performance. So we have decided to host at our Port of Spain location on South Quay a series of gallery hops as well as live performances by artists. So beginning 10:30 tomorrow morning, we're going to have Akuzuru, who's one of our leading performance artists here in Trinidad, doing a performance for us outdoors publicly. So persons can come on down, take in this performance, get on the gallery hop. We are asking persons to call the museum to pre-register for the gallery hop, where we'll be taking you to galleries in and around the Port of Spain area. So some of those same spaces that you mentioned, but also additional ones. So we'll be taking people to the Rotunda Museum, we'll be taking people to Softbox Art Gallery, to Y Art Studios, just to name a few. We don't want to sell out everything now. When you come tomorrow, you should be pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
But what we're doing is we're trying to democratize art. We're trying to get people to understand art so that they can invest in art. Yes. Right? Because a lot of people have this kind of distance that they put between themselves and art, and they don't realize that art is society. Society is art, right? So we're really trying to break down some of those barriers so that you could begin to invest in art. So that the next time you're walking somewhere, like my staff always say, now everywhere they go, they just look at art. And they're like, oh, that painting is crooked, they want to fix it. But this is what happens when you live and breathe and become to work around it. And that's what we want for the entire population. So people could begin to see it, recognize it, and something in them could begin to resonate with it. So they understand its importance to us as a growing and learning society.
I remember the Prime Minister also made that point when he's saying is that he's hoping that when you look at art and when you see art, particularly local art, that it instills that sort of patriotism in you. And so I hope that people who attend the events tomorrow will also be, motivated in that light. Before you go though, I mean, Chantal, has the Art Society ever done something like this? I mean, is this the return after the COVID-19 pandemic, as we have seen with other events that's taking place locally?
Yes, I mean, the Art Society, not only do we give because it's a membership-based organization, people the opportunity to exhibit their work, but it's really for artists to come together and meet other artists and be inspired. So yes, the pandemic kind of slowed that down a lot. So now we're getting back into the meeting up and having events. So the Art Society not only has exhibitions, but we have workshops and events during our exhibitions to get people to come out and meet each other, mingle with other artists, and to get people to, see the enjoyment in art as well. Yeah.
Well, ladies, before you go, just share some contact information. So Chantal, how can we reach out to the Art Society?
So the Art Society is on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You could just search Art Society TT. And then our gallery is in Federation Park. It's 3 to 7 St. Vincent Avenue in Federation Park, and we're open Tuesdays to Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. You could walk in at any time. It's free. It's open to the public. And yeah, that's the best ways to see what we're doing is on social media.
Nice. And Lorraine, I'm coming to you particularly for that number for people who want to call for the event tomorrow.
Of course. You can call 624-1403, extension 270 or 271 to register for the Gallery Hub, or you can simply drop us an email at nationalmuseum@nmag.gov.tt, and our social media handles are at nmag.tt and National Museum and Art Gallery on Facebook.
Nice. Well, Lorraine, Chantal, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the best with the tons of activities that you're going to be having tomorrow, and I do hope that people see the value in art and they come out not just tomorrow but also to support the organizations in different ways. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And of course, that was the Secretary of the Art Society, Ms. Chantal Kwamina, and Curator at the National Museum and Art Gallery, Ms. Lorraine Johnson, just telling us about what's going to be taking place at tons of galleries. The Art Society is going to be brewing tomorrow. The art scene is going to be brewing tomorrow, because guess what? Tomorrow is World Art Day. You're on the Now Morning Show, but stay with us because up next we have your birthdays. You don't want to miss it.
Naked away from Wall Street paintings and poets.